Hey guys! So today I wanted to answer a question I got about screen replacements, specifically when using older style CRT televisions. Now you'll see this effect all the time in TV, music videos, and period documentary type pieces, where they'll show some kind of retro footage playing on a vintage television in some dusty old apartment. I like how in this one they didn't even try to turn the TV on and sell the effect. But nevertheless, it's kind of a cool way to show a clip in a more interesting way. Now, I could just quickly mask out the screen, throw footage underneath, and be on my way, but there's a few quick little subtle effects that will help sell it, and in my opinion, make it look a little cooler. Now, for those of you that want to give it a try, I'll link all of the assets down in the description. Let's jump into Premiere. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is grab our image and drag it onto the timeline. Yes, I said image because when we originally shot this clip, I was using a Pavo tube trying to make it look as though like the TV was flickering, but I'm apparently not a professional at that and it looked like trash. So since there was no movement within the scene, it was possible to take a image from it, so that's what I did. Okay, so now the first thing you want to do is zoom in because we are wanting to mask out this screen here. Now I already went ahead and did this, but just go along border, voila, masked out. Now we want to do this so then we can add layers underneath so then it will look as though something is actually on the screen. Okay, so with that being said, we are going to bring in our steady roller ad. Now let's zoom back out because that is a mess. And what we want to do first is uncheck the uniform scale because we want to change the height and the width. So we are going to change the height to 40 and we're going to change the width to 37. Pretty decent. So now let's just make it so it kind of is actually on the screen. Okay. Now I think at this point I'm going to drag it underneath so then we can actually see what it looks like if it was on the screen. So now that we did that, it's cut off a little bit over here, so let's drag it a little more. Now it's gonna look kind of big and bulky right now, but that will change in a second. So with these TVs they have like a curved screen on them. So we wanna make this look like it's curved. So what we're gonna do is come up to effects, we're gonna do lens distortion, and we're going to drag that onto our steady roller clip. All right, now we're going to come up here to effect controls where it says curvature. We're going to go to 14. See, much better. We'll even take it off, put it back on. Big difference. So something else that you'll notice about CRT televisions, or at least the ones that I've had, but they have these visible horizontal lines that in a lot of cases run from the top all the way to the bottom of the picture. Now we can easily create those in Premiere as well, and it's just one more little thing to help blend everything together. Okay, so now in order to get these lines, the first thing we want to do is come down to our project files. We're going to right click, do new item, and create a transparent video. So now once we have that made, let's drag that into our timeline. And then we are going to add a grid effect on top of it. So we're going to come up to effects, type in grid, and we are going to drag that and place it on top of our transparent video. All right, so now what we want to do is drop the scale down to 40. We are going to change our anchor point to 0. We're going to change the size from, instead of corner point, it's going to be width and height sliders. Now this will allow us to change the width and height of this grid. So now the width needs to be 4,000, height is 10, and border 5.5. Now let's fix this really quickly, bring it down. Okay, so far it's looking good, but we need to change the color because that just looks like garbage. So we are going to change that to black, and if we zoom in, you see all these lines, we need to make sure we pull this down underneath so that we do not have those lines. So the opacity could probably go down a little bit. So let's bring that down to 40. Okay, looks pretty decent. Now the other thing about these old TVs is it has like a vignette, a black vignette border around the screen. And obviously we don't have that here, so we need to create one. So now we're going to drag this in. I made this in Photoshop. And yeah. So what we want to do first is make it smaller. So we are going to go 26.5 for the scale and reposition it so then it's over our screen around the edges. Okay. So yeah, again, we want to make sure it's underneath our TV image. And before and after. Now that's still a little bit aggressive, so let's turn the opacity down a little bit. So let's try like 75. All right, not bad. Before, after. Okay, so the last thing I want to do is kind of make this writing or this text a little bit more blurred out. So what we're going to do then is make sure that we have our steady roller clip highlighted. We're going to come over here and go to Lumetri color, and there is a sharpen slider, and we are going to slide that all the way to the left. All right, and then this faded film, we're going to just bump that up a little bit. All right, now let's see before and after. Let's zoom in even farther. Okay, so this is before and after. So it does make a little bit of difference. So let's go back to fit and let's check out the finished product.
Free at 1-800-862-1000. That's 1-800-862-1000.
Steady roller. That's what I'm talking about. All right, so yeah, pretty cool. Since we have everything figured out now, it's pretty easy to just throw in footage and resize it to fit our scene. I think we should give it a try with something a little bit more interesting than a boring static title card. All right, guys, that's all I got. I hope this helps or gives you at least something to build off of to create something cool for yourself. Like I said before, this is a pretty easy and basic effect that can help lend a more interesting vibe to your clips with minimal effort being required. Thank you for watching, and until next time, I'm Kris. See ya.
Fall back to you.